Our Ouyen United Kangas report starts us off on the footy side of it. And Andrew Wilsmore, well, he's been started out on the paddock a few times. He's waiting for a drop of rain. He joins us on the program here to give us our look at Sunraysia football and particularly his beloved Ouyen United Kangas. Andrew, how are you out there?
Good morning, Flowman. Got the tail between the legs this week, my friend, yes.
These weddings that happen through the season, and I'm told that out your part of the world there seems to be quite a few people getting married, which is a good thing, but just right in the middle of footy season?
Yes. Yeah, there's a few more coming up, but look, it's all well and good for the community, mate, but let's try and organise it in the off-season.
Yes, right. Well, you started pretty well at Kangas against Merbein, and it looked like maybe that you were going to have a good honeymoon out of it all, but unfortunately things went a bit downhill after half-time.
They did. We jumped out of the blocks incredibly well. We're up by 30-odd points at one stage in the first quarter. Luke Stanbrook, the welcome back recruit, kicked 4 in the first quarter, and everyone was saying, look, by how far. But Burn, to their credit, they put some thinking into it. They put one back behind the footy. We didn't really utilise our spare good enough, so they shut Luke down and then picked their way back through our zone and worked their way back into the game and eventually ran over the top of us in the end, so we went down, yeah.
Went down, but this big Corey Leckel, 7 goals and a magnificent performance, particularly after the quarter time, and then the very, very good player is Noah Hills for them, and well played to Nate Bull. Alex Morris, good for you. Luke kicked 6 goals, the big man. Trav Parsons, Cale Baker, the coach, and Timmy Gloucester back in the back line had plenty to do in the second half. So, look, some good players, some probably reasonable signs. Merbein aren't going to be too bad this year.
They'll be there or thereabouts for sure. They're improved. Like I say, that new fella up forward kicked 7, so they've got a focal point to aim at. Pleasing aspect for us was some of the new boys that we'd brought in, Trav Parsons, Reed Stevens, all acquitted themselves really well in their first hit out for the Kangas. So I think there was 13 players that hadn't played under either that coaching setup or together. So it was a bit of a learning curve, but we'll only get better from the experience. But Merbein will be a quality team that will be aiming for the top 4 for sure.
They certainly will be, and they will be with sides like Redcliffe's 9-11-65 to beat Imperial's 6-7-43. We didn't know what either side had, and probably that Redcliffe's are at Quandong Park at home. It would seem to indicate, Andrew, that that would be the reason for a 3-goal win, and a good one for them to start their season.
Yeah, excellent result for the Redcliffe boys. Wasn't really sure. As you said, we were a bit unknown as to how some of these teams are going to go. But look, they get a win first up. Congratulations to them. Excellent effort. So we'll see how they go against some of the upper teams later on in the season. But full credit to them, a great win.
Yeah, it was. What a performance too from Irymple again. 16-21, 117 out at the complex over South, 9-6-60. Well led by Liam Garlick and Mitchell Henderson. They are a class outfit. But I want to get to this one, and I want to ask you about this. Last week we were singing the praises, Wentworth taking the flag before the season had even started, and suddenly all of us are really, really looking at our notes going, what in the world's going on here? Robinvale Euston, 18-8, 116. Wentworth, 6-12-48. And we got it completely wrong, Andrew.
Did we ever? I think we did get one player right. Jared Brander kicked half their score, so he'll certainly help. I'm not sure how much we take out of this game, mate. I didn't see Wade Hancock's name mentioned anywhere, so whether he didn't play or not, I'm not sure, because he's a massive in for them. So did get that one very, very wrong. Obviously, Robinvale with Izzy Johnson up forward kicked 8. He's just brilliant in the air, super strong, super quick. Going to be a real handful for anyone. Really hard to know who you play on him. Like he plays tall, he plays small. He's just real rock solid. So real tough one to defend is Izzy. I don't know. I see. I've got a bit of late mail, which you might have heard that Benny McGlynn's going to play for Wentworth this weekend. So have a very big in coming in. Benny McGlynn, ex-AFL superstar. So if they get him back in, Obviously Brander, Jensen, Hancock if he's available. I would hope that they would bounce back. I think they would.
Yeah, AFL experience with the Swans and at Hawthorn, and a good connection to Ouyen too, the McGlynn family. So that is a big in for the Wentworth folk for this weekend. Let's have a look at this weekend because it becomes absolutely crucial. You blokes have got one of the toughest asks in football, and that is to travel not up the highway. That's not the big ask. It's when you get to Irymple, when you're at the highway, and they have at that Henshelwood Oval, they have their home deck. Swallows might just swallow up some Kangas here.
It's going to be a very tight game. We restructured our team a little bit. We got some good ins back in. We've changed it around a little bit. We're still not quite at full strength, but we certainly do have a good team to run out there tomorrow. That'll be a tough ask at home. Everyone knows reigning premiers, quality outfit. So they'll take some stopping. So it'll certainly be up to our boys to bounce back and put their best foot forward. So tough game, but I'm predicting it to be close.
Right. Going to have a look at that last week's results in the reserves to get a bit of a gauge on how you might go in this week. You got nailed by Merbein, 20 goals, 7-2-3. Depth was a bit of an issue last week for your boys. Any thoughts on last week's game and then what they might take into the big one this weekend?
Yeah, just an incredibly young team. I was looking at it last night and there's 10 players there that really should be running around in the under-18. So all our older, wiser, experienced boys are sitting on tractors and not quite able to help them out too much yet. So it's going to be a big ask again. Just a very, very be the youngest team in the reserves, I believe, we've ever put on the park. So yeah. The kids are, but it was great to see. You know, nearly all of them got in our best. So all these young kids that are stepping up from. Well, they should be still in under-18s, but they're stepping up to the reserves level, and they must have acquitted themselves really well. So it's great to see the young boys get in the best and get reward for their efforts. But it'll be another tough ask, no doubt about that.
Yeah, will be. Jace Monahan, Aidan Pengelly, Ethan Munro, Billy Catnach, and Ben Neil, and Ryan McKay. They're all the young guns that you're talking about playing some pretty good football. And we should mention too, down into the under-14s for last week. It was a tough week for the boys coming up against another pretty good outfit there at Merbein. And I noted that there was a forfeit there. What happened with that? Because I thought you had good numbers in that age group.
Yeah. We played a few over ages, so I'm not entirely sure what went on there, mate. Anyway, so yeah, I'll have to do a little bit more investigating. So we certainly had we played some over ages we were allowed to, so I thought that, they would have gone all right. So not entirely sure what happened.
Well, Darcy Plant, Adam Grace, Finn Brown and Harry Scott, all I have is a 0 on the score sheets and a forfeit for Ouyen. So maybe somebody didn't agree with the overages in the process, but another little bit of somebody to get some info for us on it. But that is a very interesting situation as we then look to this weekend and the other senior footy matches for round 2 action. There's a couple of really good games. You blokes, of course, are taking on the very powerful Irymple. It's going to be a tough ask for the Ouyen United Kangas. But I reckon Merbein should get over Mildura at Kenny Park. We haven't seen what Mildura have got this year, so that should be very interesting up there on the hill. Yeah,
it'll depends on how Sam Kerridge has got his boys up and going. So he'll be a massive in, and he's got a few mates along with him. So see how they go, but I'll be tipping Merbein there after last week's effort. So Merbein, but not by a great margin. But I think the comeback Magpies, as it was for the week, they'll win that one.
Yeah, Sam Kerridge is going to play himself off half-back by the look of it here in this lineup. So I reckon he might be some ducks and drakes. I reckon he'll be around the ball a fair bit. Other matches, Imperials play Robinvale Euston. Imperials probably at their home deck at Brian Waitman Oval. I think Robinvale Euston, after last week, everyone's going to be a bit reticent to tip against them just yet.
You would think so, yes. If they come out and play like that again, then they'll certainly, I believe, get that one for sure. They've just got to put some work into Isaiah Johnson. If they can't stop him, he'll run rampant. He's just such a great player. So tough one there, but I expect Robinvale to go back to back there.
All right, now, Wentworth take on South. The interest in this is on the Wentworth lineup because Jared Brander is lining up at full forward. I don't see any big Wade, and I don't see the big ruckman either in their list. I could be wrong just looking at a quick look, but there might be some ins and outs of this. So Ben McGlynn is fronting up on the paperwork here for Wentworth. Not sure about the rest of their side.
Okay, no Nick Jensen and no Wade Hancock. That would be a huge hole, So South were good last week, and they certainly weren't disgraced. So if that side is true, this game will be a lot closer than what everyone thinks. So you would think Wentworth to bounce back, but I wasn't aware of those two big outs, so that'll make a big difference.
I think so too. Yep, I reckon that's right, just looking at the team sheet anyway, unless somebody has given a duck or Drake, or even maybe if we're talking Wentworth, floating down a swan down the river there. It's going to be a big weekend. The Ouyen United Kangas, your lads will be running around. Your twos will have a lot of young lads in it too. Still a fair bit of tractor work happening. And tractor work happening at your place. What, you've been doing all the seeding, haven't you? Had Dal on the tractor this year?
We try and look after him on a Thursday and Friday. Do the team thing, so but I work him to death every other day. So we're chipping away. We'll take some more rain when we can get it, mate. But otherwise, things are tracking along pretty smoothly at the minute, which is good.
All right, on the footy field, we hope so too for the Ouyen United Kangas. Andrew Wilsmore joining us for our report with the Sunraysia Football and Netball League, and we'll catch up with you next week, Andrew.
Cheers, mate. Have a good week.